Hi guys, it's Gabriel here, and this is the second of my Dragon Age Inquisition, the Inquisitor analysis videos. This one is basically a continuation of my previous one, so you haven't watched the material that I posted some time ago, feel free to check that one out. I want to also say thank you very much to everyone who liked the video. It has a positive reception, and that's extremely good. Now, what this video will be about, I'll be talking about the cast of the Inquisition, the people who we know that are present in the one of the final moments of the trailer, the table shot. And just let me bring the actual table screenshot here. It is an interesting thing. First of all, I made a mistake in my first video saying that the number of characters here is a little bit too big. It seems that nine characters among these will be your party members. The other 4 is obviously the Inquisitor himself, and 3 characters who are sort of your right hand, your left hand, people who do what you do. They are sort of a middleman between you, the Inquisitor, and their character, and the sort of foot soldiers of the Inquisition, which is quite interesting. I don't know most of these guys because only a few of them were confirmed and released. Also, a few of them we know their names, but we don't know much about them. So let's jump into the actual characters. First, let's start from the left side of the screen, because more characters that we know are present on the left side. Not to mention that basically I want to get the first guy out of the line. First one is Cullen. Cullen was a Templar who started his Templar career, as you probably know if you play Dragon Age Origins, the Mage Origin, and the Circle of Magi quest line. He started as a initiate Templar, and what happened in the tower sort of set his view on magic users for life, I basically believe. I'm quite annoyed by the fact that the BioWare staff is pushing Cullen to every game. It's not that I don't like him, it's that he and his motivations, his worldview is quite strict, and I don't think he will be in any way possible to change, because he saw horrific things. He saw what mages can do, and they become abominations. And as much as I don't like him, I don't know why they keep pushing him into the player's face. Some characters are important for the story, some are not, and he was never the person extremely important for me. Not to mention that because he was later in Dragon Age 2, he was in Kirkwall. He has his own personal view about what Hawk was doing and the events that led to Templar Mage War. He is obviously a Templar, and even if he is a member of Inquisition, I don't know, can he change his worldview? Can he change the way he perceives mages after seeing such horrible things that he saw in the the Circle Tower in Ferelden? I don't think that's a good idea. It seems he will be the master. He will be the master for your military and your military advisor, something like that. And he will be a romanceable character, which is an interesting thing, because if he will be a romanceable character and he will not be member of your party, it seems BioWare is pushing the romance, which is quite a prominent part of their games, in a new direction, which is interesting. I wonder who other among the characters that we see here will be a romanceable character on one hand, and on the other, how they want to evaluate the fact that romanceable characters usually, when they come with you on a mission, like in Mass Effect, for example, or in Dragon Age, they react differently, which of course adds another layer to the romance storyline, and how they want to sort of incorporate this, or rather, you know, when you romance Cullen and he is not with you on a mission, he can only comment post factum on your decisions. How that will influence him, that's an interesting question. Another character we have here is Vivienne. What I like about this fact is that they are standing right next to each other. Vivienne is, from my perspective, one of the most interesting characters that we've seen in the late reveals, because Vivienne is or she was, most possibly the first enchanter of the Orlesian Circle, which brings an interesting question how she will react to what you are doing. She was a prominent member of the previous order, you know, of the previous order that governed mages, and that is an interesting big question, how that will change and how that will influence how she reacts to you, or what is her view on the world. Not much we know about her. What I like about her mostly is that, unlike the previous first enchanters, Irvin, for example, and Orsino, she is younger. It's quite visible from her character profile and from the fact and from her model. She's much younger than all other first enchanters we saw, which is quite interesting. Will she be in a romance or not? It's hard to say. What I do hope about her is that she will be this type of mage. She will be like Wynne a little bit, but much more interesting to engage with, because Wynne was always this. I never liked Wynne so much, because she had this high level of moral dilemma. No, not dilemma. High moral standards for the Warden, and I wonder how they will try to, you know. And she was also a mage high in the hierarchy of the circle. So how Vivienne will react to, for example, negatively perceived decisions that you make. That's an interesting from a gamer perspective. Then we have Varric, which obviously I will not. It won't be long when I'll be talking about Varric, because Varric is, as a character, he's very straightforward. He is a man with a solid axiology behind him, solid and ethical standards. Even if he's a rogue, even if he's a merchant, he will support your good actions. We've seen how he reacts in the trailer, the first one. If the Inquisitor burns down the village, it will most possibly be a negative, or rather will push the meter to rival with Varric. It's nice that he's here. It's nice that he is here because he's the only dwarf in the shot. Actually, he's the only dwarf in the shot. And I think after Ogren was kind of left behind, we don't know actually what's going on with him. Without Orzammar in the game, I'm talking about Dragon Age 2, because I don't quite follow, because it seems that Orzammar is in Inquisition when it comes to the geographical regions. But the big question is, will it be in the game, of course. So we have a little bit of lack of dwarves, if you know what I mean. So Varric, obviously, this is good and bad, because if he will be the only dwarf, unless you play as a dwarf, of course, that means he's a little bit, you know, he's in the center of attention. He's the only one, so every dwarf enthusiast will have to face on him. Then we have a guy who looks like a rogue, bald with most possibly two daggers on his back. Interesting character design, not to mention that we don't see much from him. I think this guy, since we know Liliana, who's on the other side of the table, will be your espionage and spy master. If this guy is a rogue, and this is quite possible, he will be an interesting character, I think. He will be most possibly one of the rogues who join you on your quest. And then we have a bold elven mage. We know that this guy is the Fade specialist. I think his name was leaked somewhere, but I don't remember his name at the moment. What is important, he's an apostate, that's almost obvious. Maybe he has Dalish origin, maybe not. So he is... I wonder how he's the second mage out of the two that are obvious mages in the shot. He and Vivienne. Of course, she as a circle mage and he as an apostate. I'm quite sure they will have a quite typical confrontation of beliefs. We don't know much about him. He might be a more important person concerning the left hand of the Inquisitor, you know what I mean? From the trailer, the special power that the Inquisitor has. Then we have Cassandra Pentecost, who's... I don't know much about her because I haven't seen the movie. I do know that her name, Pentecost, is important for any lore-friendly situations, because there was an important person in the story of Dragon Age in lore who was named Pentecost. Last time I also found out that she is... I do like her attitude. Basically, I always loved her attitude. From the very first moment of Dragon Age 2 when I saw her interrogating Varric, I was like, yeah, this woman knows what she's doing. And she's very persistent in what she wants. I hope this will... Of course, I hope her personality in relationships with the other people in the shot, and in Inquisitor mostly, I hope this will be a prominent part of her personality. As much as I saw her in action from Dragon Age 2 in the trailers, it's quite visible that she's a fighter. She is how to say it? She has the iron will, something, you know, a powerful motivation to get what she wants, or rather to achieve the goals that were set in front of her. Then we have the Inquisition leader, the Inquisitor. I personally believe BioWare is doing all they were asked about when it comes to Inquisitor. We are given racial choice, we are given class choice, we are given deep customization, as well as customization of the player's voice. This is something I haven't seen in any other game up till now. Obviously, the previous silent protagonist had battle cries and sort of a set of voices that you could choose for them, but they were not the dialogue voices. And Inquisitor will have that, which, from my perspective, BioWare is doing something tremendously right here. To give the player such a customizable character as your avatar, it's perfect. And I really hope they will keep that level of customization in the future games, because you know, when you reach a standard, that standard should stay there. And this is why I believe Dragon Age 2's restriction to male or female human was wrong, because a bar that was set in Dragon Age Origins, which most of all, I believe, most of the RPGs we see, unless an RPG has a strict set protagonist, that was the sort of a, a standard that was reached, and going down from that position was a wrong thing to do. Okay, I don't want this to be very long, so the right part of the table shot I will discuss in another video, and I hope you will be eager to see that one, because I have to say, on the right side we have much more people who are a big mystery than on the left side. So thank you for watching this little material. My name is Gabriel, and hope to see you next time when we will analyze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, among them 3 women and 3 men. See you there. Ciao.